Hi and welcome. I'm Colin Neal, a technical curriculum developer here at Google. Today we're going to be taking a look at Secure LDAP. This is a Google managed service that allows G Suite and Cloud Identity customers to connect their own LDAP-based applications, services and infrastructure to the Google Cloud Directory. The adoption of software as a service is increasing rapidly in the enterprise. G Suite and Cloud Identity comes with a rich catalogue of thousands of applications that support federated access using SAML and OpenID Connect standards. However, legacy applications and infrastructure remain embedded in many organizations and will do so for years to come. But the same standards that we use in the cloud can also be applied to many of these applications. Enabling seamless access to SaaS and legacy applications can be challenging. Enterprises typically need to maintain multiple directories, which results in duplicate work effort, fragmented security, and inevitably this also leads to a higher cost of ownership. Yes, it's true, directories can be synchronized, but that requires additional infrastructure, and these tools can be complex to configure. These sync servers also need to be maintained, and any synchronization process inevitably comes with some degree of latency. A large number of legacy applications will be using an LDAP-compliant directory, such as Active Directory, to control access. And when that is the case, that's where Secure LDAP can be applied. Put simply, Secure LDAP is LDAP as a service. As a G Suite or Cloud Identity customer, you can combine your Cloud Directory with Secure LDAP to deliver your own LDAP directory in the cloud. Google's Cloud Directory becomes the sole identity and access management platform for all of your SaaS apps as well as your existing LDAP-based applications and services. Google credentials can be used to log into your own applications, whether they be on-premise or in the cloud. In addition, Secure LDAP is a managed service. You don't have to configure it or worry about server maintenance, as all of this is handled for you by Google. And as a managed service, it is covered by the same service level agreements that apply to other Google services. Using Secure LDAP reduces existing dependencies on legacy infrastructure such as Active Directory. Depending upon your environment, you will be able to reduce your on-premise directory footprint, or you might even be able to remove it altogether. Secure LDAP is straightforward to implement. Remember, you're leveraging your existing Google Cloud Directory, so there's no end-user change management required. You simply register your application in the administration console and then update your application's configuration to use your Cloud Directory in place of your existing directory. Let's take a closer look. To add a new LDAP client, log into your domain as an administrator and navigate to the LDAP clients page. This is where you will see a list of all existing clients. Click Add Client. I'm adding a client called Papercut. And this is based in Dallas, so I'm going to enter Dallas into the description field. Now click Continue. You're now presented with the Access Permissions page. The first thing you need to do is to choose how much of your directory you want to expose to the client. Choose Entire Domain if your application is used by everyone in your company. Alternatively, you can restrict it to one or more organizational units. Let's set this one to Entire Domain. It's quite common for applications to need to query the directory for additional user information. For example, location or contact details may be required. In Read User Information, we can control whether additional information can be queried and also for what users in the organization. In this instance, I'm going to allow the client to query user information for everyone, so I'll choose Entire Domain. Finally, do we want to allow the client to query group information? Many applications and services require this, so I'm going to enable that feature also. Now add the client. At this point, the client is created, and the system generates a TLS client certificate for us. We need to download this certificate and copy it to our papercut server later, so click Download Certificate now. If you forget to download the certificate, you can download it later from the client's authentication settings page. Now let's continue to client details. The first thing you might notice is that the service status is set to off. You can enable it now, or you can wait until you have performed the actual configuration changes needed in the LDAP application itself. Let's expand the authentication section. In here, we can see the certificate that was created earlier. We can download it from here anytime we like. We can also rename it to something more meaningful. If the connection is ever compromised, we can also delete it and create a new one. We can also have more than one certificate. Perhaps you have multiple instances of the client and you want each instance to have its own certificate. Finally, some applications also require admin credentials so that they can query LDAP. Secure LDAP doesn't require these, but the application may not run if they are not provided. Creating a set of credentials is simple. Just click on Generate New Credentials. Then copy the username and password to your clipboard and enter these into your client configuration. As with certificates, if these are ever compromised, you can delete them and create new ones. Now back to our list of clients. And there you see the client that we've just created. Before we move on, you may have some applications that do not support the use of digital certificates, and traffic is therefore unencrypted. Google requires that all traffic be encrypted, so in these cases, you cannot connect your application directly to your cloud directory. The solution is to add a TLS proxy, such as S-Tunnel, and install a certificate onto the proxy server. Then it's a simple matter of pointing your application to the proxy server, and all communications between the proxy and your cloud directory are then encrypted. The next step is to reconfigure your application to use your Google Cloud directory in place of the existing LDAP directory. Each application will have its own way of doing this, and it's not possible for us to provide detailed instructions to cover all of them. Essentially, however, this part of the process requires that you point your application or service to Cloud Directory. The hostname and ports are shown here. You will then need to upload your certificate to your application's host, or if the application doesn't support client certificates, you can use a TLS proxy server such as S-Tunnel as described earlier. Optionally, you may need to provide administrator credentials. You will have created these earlier in the Google Administration Console. As I mentioned previously, there are many LDAP applications, so it's not possible to detail the configuration steps for them all. The Google Help Center, however, does provide some generic information and some more detailed instructions for a number of specific clients. Search the Help Center for How to Connect LDAP Clients for more details. Now let's go back to the admin console and take a look at the reports that are available. Secure LDAP events that take place in the admin console are logged to the general admin report. Here you can see the steps we just went through when we added our LDAP client. The Secure LDAP service also records its own set of events to its own logs. Here you can see all events related to this service. As with any report in the admin console, you can set filters on event type. You might want to search for any bind failures, for example. And you can also set alerts, which allows you to do some preemptive troubleshooting from here. So let's summarize. Today, we have seen how you can use Secure LDAP together with your existing Google Cloud Directory to deliver LDAP directory services in the cloud. Google's Cloud Directory has been designed with modern security threats in mind. This may not be the case with some traditional LDAP directories. Configuration is straightforward, and as Secure LDAP is a fully managed service, you don't need to worry about traditional maintenance considerations such as backup, failover, disaster recovery, patches, and upgrades. All actions are logged, so you can track events and troubleshoot access issues from your administration console. Using Secure LDAP reduces your reliance on multiple directories and on any sync services that you may be using. It also reduces workload and, as a result, lowers cost of ownership. We hope that this demo has been useful and you now understand how Secure LDAP can help your organization run more efficiently. To find out more, please visit the Google Help Center.